Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everyone, wherever you're at in the world. Welcome to Last Raps Baseball's live commentary of Major League Baseball. Today, we are going to be bringing you the Houston Astros and the Milwaukee Brewers, as it is going to be the third game in the set here between these two ball clubs from American Family Field. First pitch is about 4 minutes away, and we are going to be giving you all the action here. First of all, I'm going to give you the starting lineups for the visitors from Houston. Leading off and in playing shortstop is number 3, Jeremy Pena. Hitting second and doing the designated hitting is number 27, Jose Altuve. Batting third at third base is number 15, Isaac Paredes. In the cleanup spot and playing first base is number 8, Christian Walker. Batting fifth and doing the catching is number 21, Yanyer Diaz. Hitting sixth in center field is number 6, Jake Myers. Batting seventh in left field is number 9, Doug DeCenzo. Hitting eighth and playing second base is number 1, Brendan Rodgers. At batting ninth and in right field is number 20, Chas McCormick. And they're going to be facing Quinn Priester, who has a 1-0 record. He has worked 23rd and a third innings, allowing 25 hits, 15 runs, all of which have been earned. He's walked 16 and struck out 17. He's pitched to an ERA of 5.79. Well, that's your starting lineup for the Astros. Now your starting lineup for the home team, the Milwaukee Brewers. Leading off in center field today, wearing number 11 is Jackson Chourio. Hitting second in left field is number 6, Isaac Collins. Batting third and doing the designated hitting is number 22, Christian Yelich. The cleanup spot and playing first base is number 12, Rhys Hoskins. Batting fifth in right field is number 20, Daz Cameron. Hitting sixth at second base is number 21, Caleb Durbin. Batting in the seventh spot and playing third base is number 18, Vinny Carpa. Hitting eighth and doing the catching is number 13, Eric Haas. Batting ninth and playing shortstop is number 3, Joey Ortiz. And they're going to be facing Framber Valdez, who has really struggled this year. Valdez off to a 1-4 start. He has worked 41 innings, allowed 37 hits, 20 runs, all of which have been earned. He's walked 15 and struck out 37, pitching to an ERA of 4.39. Those are your starting lineups. First pitch is just a couple moments away. We'll be right back after this on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. It is Astros and Brewers when we return after this.
Hello, this is Eric Fox, formerly of the Oakland A's and Texas Rangers baseball teams. If you want to learn about Japanese baseball, see Coach Fred of Last Raps Baseball. If you want baseball instruction, see Coach Fred. If you want to learn about golf, do not go to Coach Fred. Fred, what kind of club is this?
At Last Raps Baseball, we know baseball. Welcome back, everybody. The Brewers are looking to try to complete the sweep here of the Astros. They won the first game of the series 5-1. And then yesterday they took the second game of the series 4-3. Priester is on the hill versus Framber Valdez, and he has completed his tune-up tosses, and we are ready to get this one underway. It is For the crew today, as our friend Steve Rademacher in the house. First pitch fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is quickly 0-1 to Jeremy Pena. Chris Conroy is the home plate umpire. Brennan Miller is working over at first base. Second baseman is Jamie Rehak, and at third base it's John Tumpain. As that fastball catches the outside corner, and the count now goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes to Pena. And there is a breaking ball that gets away from the catcher, Eric Haas, and the count runs to 1-2 on Pena. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Brewers in their home whites, Astros in the road grays. As the right-hander Priester getting his sign from Haas, he slowly works into the windup and delivers. Breaking ball swung on, grounded softly to short. Fielded on the run by Ortiz. He throws to first, and that is going to retire Pena. It's going to go down as a ground out, 6-3 for the first out of the inning, and that'll bring up the designated hitter in Jose Altuve. Well, for Altuve on the season, he's hitting .254. He's got 4 homers and 14 RBIs. Getting the start as the designated hitter in today's game. Right-hander against the right-hander. Priester delivers a fastball that swung on. It's taken on 1 hop by the third baseman, Carpa. He throws to first. And just like that, there are 2 in the books here for the Astros. Ground out 5-3 for the second out of the inning. So 2 gone here. And that is going to bring up the third baseman in Isaac Paredes. Well, for Paredes, he's batting .254 on the season as he takes a fastball down and away. Counts 1-0. He's got himself 4 homers and 14 RBIs. Quite a distribution in the top 4 hitters in the batting order. Everybody's all stuck at 4 home runs in today's lineup. As the pitch on the way is a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count goes to 1-1 on Paredes. Quinn Priester, originally a first-round pick of the Pittsburgh Pirates, bounced around a little bit over the last year as he is out of options. Our friend Frostbite in the house, as that fastball is swung on, chop foul over on the first base side. The count is 1-2 to Paredes. Priester had a couple of good starts, and then he's struggled a little bit. It'll be interesting to see if he can get himself back on track. Once upon a time, there were lots of great hope in this right-hander as the pitch is on the way. Fastball misses upstairs. Count goes to 2-2, and you can see it. He's a big fella. He sits in the mid-90s. Does have some run on his pitch, but the one thing is he's got a lot of walks in his 24 innings. There's a fastball that catches the inside corner for a called third strike. Paredes stood there like the house by the side of the road. He watched it go by for out number 3, and that's going to do it for the Astros here in inning number 1. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left the board. The score through a half inning. It is the Astros nothing, and the Brewers coming to bat. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments with all the action right after this timeout. And our introduction to our friend Steve Rademacher, who is in the house here today. Here is Steve.
This is Steve Rademacher, and I'd like to introduce you to my channel if you haven't seen it before. These are all the things I enjoy: sports, autographs, relics, non-sports Hall of Famers, pseudo-sports, Star Wars. That's my channel name and my name, and I would really appreciate it if you would come check me out and maybe even subscribe if you like it. Thank you for that for now. And back to your ball game.
Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the bottom of the first inning in just a couple moments. Nothing, Astros and Brewers, and we'll be right back after this musical timeout. Welcome back, everybody. Coming up for the Brewers today, it'll be Jackson Chourio, Isaac Collins, and Christian Yelich. The 1, 2, 3 hitters in the batting order to face Framber Valdez. As we mentioned at the top of the stream, Valdez was among many of the leaders in statistical categories in Major League Baseball last season. But he has stumbled out of the gate. This is going to be his 8th start of the year. He's got a 1-4 record. He's got a fluffed up ERA of 4.39. Not typical Framber Valdez numbers. Here comes the first pitch from the lefty. Fastball misses down, and the count is 1-0 to Jackson Chourio. Chourio batting .261 on the season, 6 homers and 24 runs batted in. Batting from the right side here against the lefty Valdez. As he rocks into the windup and delivers. Fastball swung on and chopped foul over on the third base side. The count runs even to 1-1 on Chourio. Lots of empty seats at Miller Park today. Or I should say no longer Miller Park. It's American Family Field is what it's called in Milwaukee, the name change. Still in my mind, it's always Miller Park, and I'm sure our friend Steve Rademacher would agree. As there's a fastball swung on and missed, and the count goes to 1-2. I remember being at Old County Stadium a number of years ago in 1998 and seeing the building being built, or seeing Miller Park at the time being built in the outfield. As the pitch is on the way, it's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count goes to 2-2. Defensively today for the Astros from left to right field, it is Doug DeCenzo is in left. The center fielder is Jake Myers. Chas McCormick is in right. Around the horn from first to third, Walker's at first. At second is Rogers. The shortstop is Pena, and at third base is Paredes. With the battery of Valdez and Diaz. There's a breaking ball waved at and missed. And Chourio is in the books. He's gone for the first out of the inning. So 1 up and 1 away. That'll bring up the left fielder in Isaac Collins. Well, for Collins, he's hitting .264 in the early going. He's got a homer and a couple RBIs. As he strides to the plate to face the left-handed throwing Valdez. Batting with an open stance, hitting from the right side as the lefty Valdez kicks and delivers. It's a fastball that misses upstairs for ball 1. 1-0 to Collins. This is the 25th game of the season that Collins is appearing in. He's getting an advantage to getting an opportunity to play as there has been some injuries to the Brewers. As the lefty Valdez rocks and delivers. Fastball swung on, chopped up the middle, fielded by Pena. He throws on the run, and that is going to retire Collins on a ground out. 6-3 for out number 2. So 2 up and 2 away. That'll bring up the designated hitter in Christian Yelich. When you look at the ball club for the Brewers, they have a couple of players that are on some long-term injured lists. Blake Perkins is on the 60-day DL. Garrett Mitchell also has found himself on the injured list. As there's a fastball that just catches the outside corner to Yelich, and the count is quickly 0-1. On the pitching side of things, Brandon Woodruff, it is said that he's almost ready to come off the injured list. As the lefty Valdez rocks into the windup and delivers. Fastball swung on and chopped foul over on the first base side of home plate. Connor Thomas is also on the injured list, as is DL Hall, Robert Gasser, Nestor Cortez, long-term injured list, Aaron Savali, Aaron Ashby. So when you look at that list, Ashby, Savali, Cortez, all considered to be potential rotation pieces. Breaking ball misses down, and the count is 1-2. And then the possibility of Gasser or Hall also joining that crew has left a lot of opportunity for other players to have to step up. Here comes the 1-2 pitch to Yelich. Breaking ball misses down and away, and the count goes to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2 gone here in the bottom of the first inning. Brewers and Astros locked at 0. As the lefty Valdez gets his sign. And now he rocks himself into the motion, and he kicks and delivers. And it's a fastball in the dirt that squirts away from the catcher Diaz, and it's going to run the count full to Yelich. When I look at Valdez, just the way that he's built, and certainly with his hairstyle, he looks like a left-handed throwing Johnny Cueto. Of course, Cueto in his later years, he had the long, I guess, dreadlocks and a bit of a ponytail, and that's what Valdez is looking like. Its hair is so long it almost covers his entire number on the back. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. Fastball swung on, grounded softly over to first, fielded neatly by Walker. He's going to take it himself, and that is going to do it as Yelich is going to be gone on a ground out to 3 to end the inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board for the Brewers in their half of inning number 1. Your score as we move to the top of the second inning, it is the Astros nothing, the Brewers nothing. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a few with all the action. We appreciate you guys for being with us today on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. We are moving ourselves to the top of the second inning. Here is our friend Steve Rademacher, who happens to be joining us in the stream today. Be sure to let him know you said hello.
Oh, hello. Oh, hey. Yep. I'm just sitting here listening to Freddie call another game here on YouTube. Oh, yeah, going really good. He's calling a great game. Really exciting. Lots of stuff going on. You're lucky it's commercial break right now. I got a second. Oh, yeah, of course, I'm having a cold one. Oh, yeah, got plenty of videos coming up this week. You should stop in, check them out, leave a like, tell other people. But, Freddie's coming back. I got to go catch the game. I will check in with you later. You have a good night, buddy. Bye.
Welcome back, everybody. We're moving to the top of the second inning. It's going to be the heart of the order to come to bat here for the Houston Astros in their second inning. That'll be Christian Walker, Yanier Diaz, and Jake Myers, as they will be facing the right-hander Quinn Priester for the first time, as there's a fastball that misses down and away, and the count is quickly 1-0. For Walker, he's hitting .203, 4 homers and 10 runs driven in, as Priester delivers a breaking ball that's waved at and missed. The count goes even at 1-1. Walker in his first year with the Astros, a new-look Astro ball club, as they have rejigged their group a little bit. There's a fastball that just misses down and away. Count is 2-1 with the loss of Alec Bregman, bringing in Isaac Paredes, Christian Walker. And then they've got to retool the outfield a little bit. We'll see how this is. It's not the 2017 version of the Astros or some of the other powerhouse teams that they've had, but it's still a pretty quality ball club. They are just struggling right now as a game below 500. But one would expect they'll be right there at the end of the year. There's a fastball swung on it, is grounded up the middle. Fielded easily by the second baseman, Durbin, who throws to first, and Walker is gone on a ground out 4-3. So one up and one away here, and that is going to bring up the catcher in Yanier Diaz. Well, for Diaz, he's batting .223 on the season. He's got 3 homers and 14 runs batted in. Getting the start today, as he steps in, waiting here on the offering from the right-hander Priester, who delivers a breaking ball over for a called strike. Count is 0-1. As we mentioned, the Brewers are looking to try to complete the sweep after 5-1 and 4-3 victories over the Astros. As the pitch is on the way, it is a breaking ball that just misses inside. Count runs even. Diaz at 1-1. Brewers, on the other hand, they're one game over 500 right now, and they're looking to get themselves on a bit of a roll. As that fastball misses down and away, and the count is 2-1. And truthfully, when you look at the pitching staff of the Brewers, it is a bit of a, I don't want to say a work of art, but you have to give Pat Murphy, the manager, credit, as they are getting blood out of a stone right now. As there's a fastball swung on, it's grounded over to short. Fielded neatly by Ortiz. He throws to first. It's a ground out 6-3. Is going to retire Diaz for the second out of the inning. And what I mean by that is you think of some of the players. Well, Freddie Peralta is as legit as they come. But you have Aaron Savali on the injured list, Nestor Cortez on the injured list, Woodruff, Ashby. So 4 potential would-be starters oft injured. And they're going with Myers, Priester, Quintana. As there's a fastball swung on. This is going to be grounded into center field off the bat of Jake Myers. And he is going to be aboard with a base hit. So a single for Myers with 2 outs. That's the first hit of the ball game for either team. That's going to bring up the left fielder in Doug DeCenzo. But basically, with the pitching staff that they're using, with Tyler Alexander getting starts, Quintana, it's a bit of a makeshift lineup here for the Brewers, and they've been doing quite well in spite of that. So here comes the first offering to DeCenzo, and instead Priester throws to first, and getting back safely is the runner, Myers. Priester had a little bit of a chuckle with that one as Rhys Hoskins had fry-panned the ball. DeCenzo hitting .260 on the year. He's got a homer and 6 RBIs. Digging in here against the right-hander Priester. And now the pitch is on the way. It's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Not sure exactly what's going on with Hoskins. He took that ball in his thigh or up around his hip area. I don't know if he absolutely whiffed on it or if it was, as the pitcher, right-hander Priester now delivers, there's a fastball swung on and it's fouled away down the right field line. Count is 0-2. A nice catch there by a man who's on his cell phone from Franklin, Wisconsin. He gets a round of applause from those around him, and he gives the ball to a kid. That's pretty funny. Having his conversation, hauls the ball in, no problem, hands it over to his kid. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. Fastball swung on, lined over the head of the third baseman down the left field line, rounding second and heading to third. Rounding third and heading home is the runner, Myers, and he's going to slide in safely as the Astros have taken an early 1-0 lead. That ball there was just looped over the head of the third baseman. It got down. The left fielder, Isaac Collins for the Brewers, had a long way to come. And Jake Myers, with a full head of steam, was able to make it all the way around from first base, score the first run of the game for the Astros. So an RBI off the bat of DeCenzo. We'll have to see if they're going to rule that as a double or not. I'm pretty sure they will. As Myers is going to come around with run number 1 for the Astros. That'll bring up the second baseman in Brendan Rodgers. And the first pitch breaking ball is swung on and missed. The count is 0-1. So no balls and a strike. Early 1-0 Astro lead here now in the second inning. Priester checks the runners at second, working himself to the belt. And here's the pitch. It's a breaking ball that is waved out and missed. The count goes to 0-2. So all the damage done here with 2 out. Back-to-back hits by the Astros have given them an early 1-0 lead. So no balls and 2 strikes to Rodgers. Priester again checks the runner and delivers. Breaking ball misses down. It's 1-2 to Rodgers. Rodgers hitting .235 on the year with a homer and 10 RBIs. His first season that he's not wearing a Rockies uniform. As we said about the rejigged or the retooled Astros lineup. There's a breaking ball waved at and missed, and Rodgers is in the books. He's gone for the third out of the inning. And that is going to do it here for the Astros in inning number 2. They had 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, 1 runner left aboard. Their score as we move to the bottom of the second inning, it is the Astros 1 and the Brewers no score. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the call in just a couple moments after this. We appreciate you guys for hanging in here with us on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. Right back after this timeout.
Hello, this is Eric Fox, formerly of the Oakland A's and Texas Rangers baseball teams. If you want to learn about Japanese baseball, see Coach Fred of Last Raps Baseball. If you want baseball instruction, see Coach Fred. If you want to learn about golf, do not go to Coach Fred. Fred, what kind of club is this?
At Last Raps Baseball, we know baseball. Welcome back, everybody. It's going to be the heart of the order coming up for the Brewers. This is Hoskins. It's going to be Rhys Hoskins, Daz Cameron, and Caleb Durbin as the Brewers find themselves in a 1-0 deficit here to the Astros, who punched their first run across in the top half of the inning. So Hoskins, Cameron, and Durbin to come to bat. For Rhys Hoskins, he's hitting .267 on the year. He's got 4 homers and 17 RBIs. He was a lot of speculation in the offseason that Hoskins was going to be packaged up and tried to be moved out. As the pitch is on the way, he takes a first pitch fastball for a called strike. Hoskins has enjoyed a pretty good start to the 2025 campaign. And probably the Brewers are glad they didn't move him at this point. Here comes the 0-1 pitch from the lefty Valdez, who delivers a breaking ball that's waved at and missed. Count goes to 0-2 on the first baseman of the Brewers. Was a longtime Philadelphia Philly. And in some ways didn't look right leaving, but had his injury woes with Philadelphia. As the pitch is on the way, there's a breaking ball swung on. This ball's lined right to the glove of the third baseman, Isaac Paredes, who's there to make the catch and is going to put one in the books here. So 1 gone, and that'll bring up the right fielder in Daz Cameron. Well, for Daz Cameron, he's getting an opportunity here to show what he can do here for the Brew Crew. As he waits at the first pitch, it is a fastball that misses inside, and the count is quickly 1 ball and no strikes. Cameron has bounced around a little bit. He began his professional career in the Houston organization. He was part of the big trade to Detroit in the Justin Verlander trade, as that breaking ball misses down and the count goes to 2-0. And subsequently after that, he has spent time in different organizations, Baltimore being one. Oakland at the big league level last year, where he had probably arguably the most productive years of his career. Fastball swung on, grounded through the 6-hole into left field, and Cameron's aboard with a single. And that is going to bring up the second baseman in Caleb Durbin. But he has made his debut a few games ago. It's his 8th appearance now for the Brewers for Daz Cameron. And with that hit here, that is his 2nd hit of the season and only his 9th plate appearance. Well, that brings Durbin to the plate, who is hitting .218 on the season. He got the start at second base. This is with a fastball upstairs. The count's 1-0. Durbin has a homer and 10 runs batted in. We mentioned before, there are some players also today getting days off. Some regulars not in the Brewer lineup. There's the pitch. Fastball catches the inside corner for called strike. Counts 1-1. This is the 19th game of the season that Durbin has appeared in. The rookie has the most RBIs since the middle of April the 18th to be exact. Breaking ball misses down, and the count now goes to 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike. Batting from the right side, here is the second baseman of the Brewers, as Valdez throws over to first base, and getting back in time is Daz Cameron. One of the things that was interesting about Daz Cameron is that he had a really slow start to his big league career. He's 28 years old. But you may not recall his father, Mike, was very similar. Fastball swung on, lined into left field. That's going to be a base hit. Durbin's going to be aboard. They're going to play station-to-station baseball as Cameron's going to stop at second. That's going to put runners at first and second with 1 gone, and it's going to bring the third baseman and Vinny Carpa to the plate. Just one final thought on Daz Cameron, as we were talking about him a little bit. I was thinking about his dad, Mike, how his Mike really never got going until he was closing in on 30 years old. Well, if you're the Brewers, you got to be hoping that would be the case with young Daz as well. But a really physically fit specimen. And here comes the pitch. There's a breaking ball that's taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1 to Carpa. Carpa batting 0-8-0. Really struggling here at the plate. A homer and 4 RBIs. He's appearing in his 24th game. There was a breaking ball that misses down. The count goes even at 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. As the right-handed hitting third baseman of the Brewers waits on the pitch from Valdez, who checks the runner at second. Here's the pitch. Fastball swung on, it's lifted foul down the first baseline, and the count now goes to 1-2. I have to say, it's a different-looking Brewer team as well. Some of the regulars are some of the players that we would expect to see, obviously, with Hoskins appearing last year, and Churio and Yelich, but the other players, and for that matter, Joey Ortiz, as that ball's chopped up the middle, over to short, Pena over to second for 1, back to first, and that's going to be an inning-ending double play, as that is going to go in the books as a 6-4-3 variety. It'll retire Carpa for the third out. Durbin has gone at second for the second out of that play. And so that'll do it here in the second inning for the Brewers. No runs in the inning, 2 hits, no errors, 1 left aboard. They squander an opportunity to put some runs on. It's the Astros coming to bat with a 1-0 lead in the top of the third. We'll be back in just a couple moments after this. Appreciate you guys for listening in on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. We are moving to the top of the third inning. Here is our friend Steve Rademacher to keep you entertained. We'll be right back after this.
Hello, guys. Thank you for joining Freddie here on his baseball game. And I'm Steve Rademacher, and my channel is really all about everybody, including all my international friends. We have such stuff as non-sport packs from Canada, the OP cheese. We have the Greek Freak. We have money from around the world. We have lira. We have yen. We have francs. We have pounds. We have Deutschmarks. We have all kinds of cool stuff like that. We even have some cooler things like Japanese women wrestlers and OPC baseball cards where I cannot read the back. We even have unopened material like the royal family, I know it's backwards, from London, England. Thank you for watching. Back to Freddie.
Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be Chas McCormick, Jeremy Pena, and Jose Altuve to come to bat here in the top of the third. The first pitch breaking ball that was delivered to McCormick was missed outside for ball 1. McCormick hitting .280 on the year, no homers and no runs driven in. Stands well off the plate here against the right-hander Priester, who delivers a fastball that misses outside. The count is now 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. Astros got a run in the second inning, all with 2 outs, and that is where we stand at 1-0 right now, as that fastball is taken for a called strike, and the count goes to 2-1 on McCormick. Saw a fascinating video yesterday that was only maybe about a 20-second clip. Fastball swung on it, is lifted into right field. Drifting over underneath it is the right fielder Cameron. He's there to make the catch, and that is going to retire McCormick for the first out of the inning. So 1 up and 1 away, and that is going to bring up the top of the order in Jeremy Pena. And it was the interview actually was with a AAA pitcher for the Tampa Bay Rays, Paul Gavese, or Gavese is his name. And the philosophy of the Tampa Bay organization is to, in the minor leagues anyway, as there's a breaking ball that swung on and missed, counts 0-1 to Pena. Pena 0 for 1 today, grounded to short his first time up. But Gavese was saying that they set their catchers up right down the middle. And in the Tampa organization, until you get to 2 strikes, the pitchers are set up right down the middle of the plate. Fastball misses down, and the count's 1-1. But the interesting piece about this is that he was saying that 95% of the time, if you throw a first pitch, middle, right down the middle of the plate, there's a fastball swung on, grounded to short, fielded on the run by Ortiz. He throws to first. That's going to retire Pena on a ground out 6-3. So 2 gone here, and that's going to bring up the designated hitter in Jose Altuve. Already a busy day for the shortstop Ortiz. He's already been involved in 3 plays. But just to finish off what I was talking about, basically said if you throw the first pitch middle, as a pitcher, you generally get a positive result. It's either going to be a called strike, a swinging strike, a foul ball, or a ball put in play for an out. As the first pitch fastball delivered to Altuve is taken for a called strike. So that basically means even at the professional level, if you throw the pitch right down the middle, there's only a 5% chance on that first pitch that hitters are going to get themselves a hit. There's a fastball swung on it, is grounded, taken on 1 hop by the third baseman, Carpa, who throws to first. Altuve is going to be in the books. It's a ground out 5-3, and that will do it here for the Astros in their half of inning number 3. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We're moving to the bottom of the 3rd inning. It is the Astros 1, the Brewers no score. We'll be back in just a couple of moments. Appreciate you guys for hanging in here with us today on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. Right back after this.
Well, you've got to have an ace in the hole, a little secret that nobody knows. Life is a gamble, a game we all play, but you've got to save something for a rainy day. You've got to learn to play your cards right if you expect to win in life. Don't put it all on the line for just one roll. You've got to have an ace in the hole.
Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the 8, 9, and 1 hitters to come to bat here in the 3rd inning for the Brewers. The Eric Haas, Joey Ortiz, and the top of the order in Jackson Churio to face the left-hander Framber Valdez. Valdez, so far today, 27 pitches through his 2 innings of work. His counterpart through 3, Quinn Priester, has delivered 35. Priester actually has been all around the zone today. I thought he's looked pretty good. As we have a time count violation, as that is going to be, time has been called. We didn't see if it was going to be to the batter or to the pitcher, as the first pitch here on the way from Valdez is a breaking ball that's taken for a called strike. So 1 ball and 1 strike. It looks like it was the time count was on the pitcher. So Valdez not getting the show on the road quick enough. And the pitch is a breaking ball that misses down, and the count now goes to 2-1 on Eric Haas. Eric Haas began his career in the Cleveland Guardian organization at the big league level, and then he was flipped to the Detroit Tigers, had some pretty good seasons in Detroit. The former he was a Dearborn, Michigan native, which isn't all that far from downtown Detroit. Breaking ball taken for a called strike. The count is 2-2. Haas has really been able to be a bit of a survivor. He also spent some time in the Cincinnati organization. At the big league level, it has been Cleveland, Detroit, and Milwaukee. And he's also been back to Cleveland a couple of times. There's a breaking ball that swung on and missed. And Haas is in the books. He's gone for the first out of the inning. That is going to bring up the shortstop in Joey Ortiz. Well, for Ortiz, he's hitting 179 on the year, no homers and 5 RBIs. Ortiz was part of that package deal that brought sent Corbin Burns to the Orioles. He and D.L. Hall. As there's a fastball swung on, this ball is going to get lifted into center field. Coming in hard and diving and making the catch is the center fielder Myers. Oh, Ortiz is going to feel a little hard done by on that one. Ball just hung up just enough for the center fielder Myers to come in and make the catch. What a fantastic play. If you're looking for a web gem tonight, that's going to be something that you're going to want to pull up on Instagram or on Facebook or wherever you get your highlights. But what a fantastic play by the center fielder Myers to retire Ortiz for the second out of the inning. If you're Ortiz, you're going to feel a little snake bitten by that one. But a great play there by the center fielder of the Astros. So that brings Jackson Chourio to the plate, and the first pitch is a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is quickly 0-1. Chourio 0 for 1 today. He struck out his first time up. As the lefty Valdez rocks into the delivery, and there's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count goes even at 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Valdez steps off the backside of the mound, and he adjusts himself as the lefty ready to go again. And there is a fastball that misses down, and the count now goes to 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike to Chourio. Again, Valdez getting the sign from his catcher as he rocks himself into the windup. Delivers a breaking ball that misses down, and the count now goes to 3 balls and 1 strike on the center fielder of the Brewers. They appealed over to first base, but he didn't feel that he had offered. Here comes Valdez again, as the right-hander rocks himself into the windup. Here's the pitch. Fastball misses down and in, and that's going to be ball 4, as Chourio is going to get himself a 2-out walk, and that's going to bring up the left fielder in Isaac Collins. So the Brewers, this is the first walk issued here by Valdez. They had a couple of base runners in the second inning, but that was snuffed out by the double play ball that was induced by Valdez. Not a lot of traffic here so far, and the pitch on the way is a fastball taken for a called strike. That was center cut. Count is 0-1. Collins grounded to short his first time up. Talking about getting an opportunity to play as he takes a breaking ball down and in, and the count now goes to 1-1. You look at the roster of the Brewers, and you think of some of the players on the depth chart. Sal Frelick, and certainly Garrett Mitchell, even Blake Perkins considered to be into the mix, but 2 of those are on the injured list. Here comes the 1-1 fastball that is check swing, and it is the home plate umpire says that he did go around, did Collins. That's going to run the count to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Got the left-hander working himself to the set. Here comes the pitch. Fastball misses upstairs. The count goes now to 2-2 on Collins. Sal Frelick getting the day off here today. One thing that I do notice about the Brewers, there's a breaking ball that swung on and fouled away. Count is 2-2. They're a scrappy team. They're not necessarily a big team. Rhys Hoskins on the positional side. Hoskins was probably, at least by our accounts, he and Christian Yelich are the biggest players. They stand in at 6'3", but they got a lot of players that are under the 6-foot scale. As Valdez throws over to first base, getting back easily is the runner Chourio. They're not what I would consider to be a big physical team, at least on the offensive side. Here comes the 2-2 pitch as the lefty again holds set, now delivers. There's a fastball that misses well outside. The count goes to 3-2 on Collins. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. And the lefty again delivers. There's a fastball swung on and missed, and Collins is in the books. He's gone for the third out of the inning, and that is going to do it here for the Brewers in their half of the third. No runs, no hits, no errors, one runner left aboard. A third of the game is now complete. Your score is the Astros won, the Brewers no score. We'll be back with the fourth inning in just a couple of moments. We appreciate you guys for hanging in here with us on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. Be right back after this with our friend Steve keeping you entertained.
Thank you, Freddie. Appreciate your support and everybody out there. Steve again here, obviously, with the Milwaukee Brewers. Of course, we have Bernie Brewer on my favorite beverage of choice right there, along with a card of Bernie. Yay! Now, we got some special guests here. I'm not just talking about our Hall of Fame lineup. I must be in the front row. Hey, come on there, Robin. I got 3,000 hits. What do you have? Well, I was the all-time saves leader, and I got 1.5 feet on you. Okay, Raleigh, settle down, buddy. Now, none of this could be possible without Harvey's Wallbangers. There's Harvey. And who could forget the Fonz? Hey.
Appreciate you there, Steve, and the support you give to our channel. Be sure to check out Steve Rademacher after the game for all your entertaining needs. We'll be back in 30 with all the action right after this. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be Isaac Paredes, Christian Walker, and Yanyer Diaz to come to bat here in the fourth inning as the first pitch delivered from Quinn Priester misses up for a ball, and the count is 1-0. Paredes struck out looking his first time up as there's a fastball swung on and grounded foul over on the third base side. The count runs even at 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Yes, here's a pitch delivered to Paredes. It's a breaking ball swung on and fouled away over on the third base side. Count goes to 1-2. Just getting a little bit of a chuckle as the fans in the stands. There was a ball tossed into the stands, and looks like there's a lot of school children that are at the game today, or school kids that are at the game. And some of the boys were having a tussle to see who is going to get control of the ball. Here comes the pitch. It's a fastball swung on and fouled away off the bat of Paredes, and the count goes to 1-2. As we were saying about Paredes, he was a off-season acquisition of the Houston Astros. He began his career in the Detroit Tiger organization as there's a pitch that misses outside. The Tigers had flipped him over to Tampa Bay. 2 balls and 2 strikes, and that's really where he had the breakout in his career. There's a fastball that misses inside, but they appeal down to the first base umpire, Brennan Miller. He goes up with the right hand, and Paredes is going to be gone for the second time by a strikeout today. He's out for out number 1. It's going to bring up the first baseman in Christian Walker. Just to finish off a little bit about Paredes, he had 31 homers and drove in 98 back in the 2023 season. Arguably his best in the big leagues. As the first offering here is delivered to Christian Walker, and it's a breaking ball that misses upstairs. The count is 1-0. Walker 0 for 1 today. He grounded out to second his first time up. Batting from the right side here against Quinn Priester, who kicks and delivers. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count goes even to 1-1. 1 ball and 1 strike. Right-hander ready to go again as he rocks himself into the windup and delivers. There's a breaking ball that catches the outside corner, and the count goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Priester getting those signs from his catcher, Eric Haas, and he rocks himself into the windup and delivers. There's a breaking ball swung on his tap foul over on the third base side home plate. Count remains at 1-2. We are going to be on the airwaves again a little bit later with another one today. It'll be a 4:10 Pacific start or 7:10 Eastern. It'll be the Cincinnati Reds and the Atlanta Braves. So if you're around, jump in for that. Fastball swung on and lifted foul. It's going to reach the seats down the right field line. 1 ball and 2 strikes. It remains here to Walker. And then tomorrow, it'll be the Orioles and the Twins in the morning tomorrow if you're on the West Coast, or on the early afternoon out east. As the pitch is a breaking ball that misses down and away, and the count goes to 2-2 on Walker. So one thing we'll say about Quinn Priester is that he has had better control today, a better command of his pitches. There's a fastball that misses down. It's now 3-2. Without giving him the broadcaster's curse, he has not walked the batter yet, as the 3-2 pitch is on the way. There's a breaking ball swung on. This ball is lined into left field for a base hit. Cutting it off is the left fielder Collins. He drops the ball, and cruising into second base is going to be Walker. So we're going to have to wait and see how they rule it. I think that might be a single with an advancement on the error. I think they got to give the left fielder an error on that. No, they're actually going to give Walker a double. That's the official scoring. We'll get a look at the replay. That's a friendly scoring decision. Definitely would have been that. He got over to do it, and he picked it up, and then he decided to juggle the ball. So very interesting that is what they've ruled, but Christian Walker probably won't complain. So he's at second with a 1-out double. That is going to bring Yanir Diaz to the plate. The first pitch to Diaz is a fastball that misses upstairs and away. The count is 1-0. But I was saying about Priester today, he has entered the ball game 23 and a third innings pitched, walking 16, and he's yet to allow a free pass here to the Astros today. Here's the 1-0. Fastball swung on, grounded to third. They check the runner back to second. Over to first. It's in the dirt, but a nice pick there by Hoskins. It's going to go as a ground out 5-3. Carpa delivered the ball in the dirt to the first baseman. So that is going to bring up the center fielder in Jake Myers. Myers has scored the only run for the Astros today. He singled and came home on an RBI double off the bat of Doug DeCenzo in the second inning. He's also made a fantastic play in center field for the Stros. As he swings at the first pitch, it's a breaking ball lifted into right center field. Racing in on it is Churio. He's there. He's going to make the catch, and that's going to retire Myers for the third out of the inning, and that will do it here for the Stros in their half of the fourth. Well, they had no runs in the inning. There was a hit. There was no errors, and there was one runner left aboard. Your score as we move to the bottom of the fourth inning, it is the Astros 1, the Brewers no score. Stick around, everybody. It'll be Yelich, Hoskins, and Cameron to come to bat when we return in just a few. We appreciate you guys for being here on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel.
Thank you for that introduction, Freddie. Hey guys, Steve coming back at you today, and every day is opening day on my channel. I open everything from hot sauce to beer to deviled eggs to cans of soup to ravioli to sport card packs that you wouldn't believe. I open blasters of stuff. I open regular boxes of stuff. Speaking of hot sauce, I open hot sauce, which is often gifted to me from the community. I have it all. I open up Star Wars by the tons, including the Family Guy Star Wars. I have a bunch of wrestling that I do open, and I do non-sport cards like crazy. As you can see, we have it all. I even open Marvel, tons and tons of Marvel cards. But you never know, on my channel, you just may have a little trouble with tribbles, too. Remember, opening day, every day. Thank you, Freddie. See you in Funny Pages, guys.
That's right, everybody. We appreciate you. We hope you guys are enjoying yourself and having some fun listening to the game today with us between the Astros and the Brewers. our good friend Steve Rademacher keeping you entertained. We'll be back in 30 with all the action right after this. Welcome back, everybody. The first pitch fastball delivered to Christian Yelich is taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1. Yelich, Hoskins, and Cameron here to face the left-hander. Only 44 pitches through the first 3 innings for the Astros lefty, as there's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count now goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes here to Yelich. Lefty versus the lefty as Valdez rocks into the windup and fires. There's a breaking ball swung on his tap softly in front of home plate. They're going to have to hurry as Valdez had to get off the mound. Yelich runs well, is going to be retired on a ground out 1-3. So 1 gone. It'll bring up the first baseman in Rhys Hoskins. Well, for Hoskins, he is 0-for-1 today. He has lined out to the third baseman his first time out. That play actually was a lot closer than what it should have been. It was a really casual play there by Framber Valdez getting off the mound. And it wasn't exactly a bullet to first base. It did retire Yelich, but not by very much. Hoskins 0-for-1. He lined out to third his first time up. Takes a breaking ball down, and the count is 1-0. Hoskins gets himself dug back in as the lefty Valdez rocks himself into the windup and delivers. Breaking ball misses outside. It's now 2-0 to Hoskins. So 2 balls and no strikes. As the lefty ready to go again, he rocks and delivers. There's a fastball that misses down, and the count goes to 3-0. Brewers have had 3 base runners. They had 2 in the second and 1 in the third inning. Not been able to string much together. There's a fastball on the inside corner that's taken for a called strike. The count goes to 3-1. So 3 balls and 1 strike. And Valdez is going to go off the backside of the rubber and ready to go back at it again as he is got himself in position to do this. Here comes the 3-1 offering as he rocks into the windup and delivers. Fastball taken at the knees for a called strike, and the count now goes to 3-2. Hoskins sure didn't like that pitch. That pitch looked a lot better than the 3-0 pitch. The 3-0 pitch looked like it might have been a bit inside. That pitch there was right at the knees, and Hoskins doesn't seem to think so as he lets Chris Conroy know. Here's the 3-2 pitch. It's a breaking ball swung on and grounded foul over on the third base side. Sometimes when hitters are really seeing the ball well, or at least they feel they're seeing the ball well, they might let those home plate umpires know what they think a little bit more. Certainly a veteran like Hoskins, not necessarily one to be known that he's pretty mouthy. There was a fastball swung on. It's grounded over to third. Fielded by Paredes, he throws to first, and that is going to retire Hoskins on a ground out 5-3 for the second out of the inning. So 2 gone, and it's going to bring up the right fielder in Daz Cameron. Well, for Cameron, he is 1-for-1 today. He's got a single in his only trip. The ground ball through the 6-hole in the second inning with 1 gone. Takes a breaking ball over for a called strike. The count's 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. Cameron batting from the right side here against the lefty Valdez, who kicks and delivers. There's a fastball swung on and missed. Count now goes to 0-2. Cameron waggling the bat As Valdez works quickly, and the pitch on the way is a fastball that misses outside. The count runs to 1-2. Ball and 2 strikes. Again, Valdez getting his sign from his catcher. He rocks himself into the windup and he kicks and he fires. There's a breaking ball that's down, but the home plate umpire says that Cameron went around. He's going to be gone for the 3rd out of the inning as he's down on strikes. And that is going to do it here as their Brewers are retired in the 4th. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left the board. You're now through 4 complete. Your score is the Astros 1, the Brewers no score. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments with all the action. We appreciate you guys for hanging with us on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. We'll be right back after this. We got a score line of 1-0 for the Astros over the Brewers. We're moving to the top of the 5th inning. We'll be right back in just a couple moments after this. Appreciate you guys for hanging with us on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. We'll be back in 30. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the 7, 8, and 9 hitters to come to bat here for the Astros in their half of the 5th inning. Just taking a look at some of the numbers here for Quinn Priester, the starter for the Brewers. He's pitched pretty well, only 1 blemish. He's worked 4 innings. He's allowed 3 hits. He has allowed 1 earned run. He hasn't walked anybody. The first pitch is a breaking ball that misses down and away, and the count is quickly 1-0. He does have 3 strikeouts to his name today. As the right-hander delivers again, there's a breaking ball that misses down. They appeal over the first base umpire, but they say DeCenzo didn't go around. The count now goes to 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. Brennan Miller over at first base has been busy today. Lots of check swings. There's a fastball missing down and away, and the count goes to 3-0 on DeCenzo. So 3 balls and no strikes. Bottom third of the batting order here has helped produce the run for the Astros. There's the fastball that misses outside. That's the first walk of the day issued by Priester. And that is going to put DeCenzo aboard. It'll bring the second baseman, Brendan Rodgers, to the plate. Well, for Rodgers today, he struck out his first time up. He's 0 for 1. Ready to face the right-hander here as Priester leans in, gets the sign from his catcher, works himself into the set, and the pitch on the way is a fastball missing upstairs. So 5 balls in a row here to start the 5th inning from the Brewer right-hander, and that is going to bring Eric Haas, the catcher, out to the mound to talk to the right-hander. It's been a pretty good performance so far today for the Brewers right-hander. As we said, to this point, he's thrown 57 pitches and 35 have been for strikes. But more importantly, he has kept the walks to a minimum. He walked the leadoff batter here, DeCenzo, to start the inning, which is his first walk of the day. So Priester and Haas, their conference is over as Haas heads back to the plate. As the right-hander works himself into the set position, here comes the 1-0. Pitch on the way, fastball swung on, grounded up the middle, fielded on the backhand by the second baseman, and he drops the ball. There's going to be a play nowhere. So Durbin Fry panned the ball on the backhand. It was close. He could have stepped on the bag at second base, but they end up getting a play nowhere, so some shoddy defense shows up. We're going to have to see what the official scoring decision on it is. As far as I'm concerned, that's going to be an E4. The official score ruling is pending, but regardless, that puts runners at first and second. But nobody out. It's going to bring Chas McCormick to the plate. McCormick is 0 for 1 in this one as he flew out to right field. He squares the bunt and he gets it down. It's up the third baseline. It's a good one. They throw over to first base, and that is going to advance the runners over to second and third. So a sacrifice bunt advances DeCenzo and Rogers. The ball was coming up and in, and was able to get it down was the right fielder of the Astros. So a little bit of small ball. If you're keeping score at home, it's a put out 2-3 for the first out of the inning. It's going to bring up the top of the order in Jeremy Pena. And the first pitch to Pena is a swinging strike, and the count is quickly 0-1. Pena 0 for 2 today is twice grounded to short. Grounds it over to third. Fielded by the third baseman, Carpa. He comes home with it. As running on the play is the runner DeCenzo, and he's going to be gunned down at the plate. Oh, a nice play there by Carpa. He threw a little bit off balance. Astros might want to take a look at this. And it looks like that the manager is coming out of the dugout to have a word with the home plate umpire. Let's see what they're talking about here. He's swung on it. It was a ground ball. Nice play by Carpa. He threw it to the plate. Oh, boy. I think they're going to have to go up and have a look at this one. He may have got his hand in and around the tag. That's one thing. You want to get, as the catcher or any position, when you get your tag down, you don't want to reach for the runner. I think he may have beaten that play there. I think the Astros are going to double their lead. We're just going to wait here. Call on the field is out at home. I think this challenge is going to be reversed here. I'm just going to have to wait on this one. We still haven't had a scoring update on the one at second base. But as far as I'm concerned, it was a head-first play. You never want your players to go head-first to the plate because the catchers can block. They can get their fingers jammed, but certainly in that situation there, DeCenzo with a very good slide. Looks like he got his left hand around the glove of the catcher, Haas. Haas didn't do a very good job of blocking the plate, or at least getting his foot in the direction to block the plate. If he had his foot in front of the plate, and so the call has been reversed. It is going to be safe at home. So DeCenzo is going to score the second run here for the Astros. Advancing over to third is Rogers. Safe at first on that fielder's choice is Pena. He's going to pick himself up an RBI. And that is going to bring up the designated hitter in Jose Altuve, and they're still not out of the woods yet. So Altuve steps in, and the first pitch coming to him from the right-hander with runners on the corners. As a fastball that misses up and in, and the count is 1-0 to Altuve. It looks like it was an error charged to Durbin. As there's a fastball that gets away from the catcher, Haas. He has no idea where it is. That's going to get the runner in from third. So a wild pitch is going to advance the runner. So everything falling apart right now for the Brewers here. As Brendan Rodgers is going to come in to score the second run of the inning. That pitch there, actually, it looks like it was a pass ball. It might have gone off the glove of Haas. And then he didn't know where it was. And then the next thing you know, the runner just was able to scamper home. And a 3-0 lead now for the Astros here in the top of the fifth inning. Things coming apart for the Brew Crew. Fastball misses upstairs, and the count now goes to 2-0 on Altuve. So Pena, the runner at second, one gone. Altuve here at the plate. And some interesting defense has showed up for the Brew Crew here in the inning. So it did go down as a pass ball. Fastball taken for a called strike. The count now goes to 2-1. I've heard at times this year the Brewers have played some suspect defense. Well, it certainly showed up in this situation. Pass ball to the catcher, error by the second baseman. As the pitch on the way as a breaking ball swung on it is popped up in the middle of the infield. It's playable. Underneath it is Joey Ortiz. He's there to make the catch. And Altuve is going to be retired for the second out of the inning. He's going to leave it all up to the third baseman and Isaac Paredes. Well, for Paredes, he is 0 for 2 today. He has struck out both his times to the plate, once looking and once swinging. Paredes' average has dipped to 250 on the year with those 4 homers and 14 RBIs. As there's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Priester again leading in, getting the sign. Priester's pitched pretty well today up until this, what I would call this disastrous 5th inning for the Brewers defensively. Fastball misses outside. The count now goes to 2-0. Astros have sent 6 batters to the plate here in inning number 5. As the right-hander kicks and fires, there's a fastball that catches the outside corner, and the count goes to 2-1 on Paredes. Kind of wonder what kind of leash they will have on the right-hander Priester today if he'll go much further past the 5th. Pitch on the way. Fastball misses down and away, and the count now goes to 3-1. So it kind of makes me wonder, based on the first 4 innings for Priester, just in terms of his command and control, where he would be at in terms of his conditioning. He's looked pretty good today up to this point. Here's the pitch. And there's a fastball that misses way outside, and that's going to be ball 4. So there were some pretty large misses in that at bat there to Paredes. That's going to bring Christian Walker to the plate with runners at first and second and 2 gone. There is action in the Brewer bullpen as Elvin Rodriguez is up and throwing. Elvin Rodriguez, a former Detroit Tiger, also a former Yakult Swallow. Had a chance to see Elvin Rodriguez pitch for the Swallows a couple of years ago in Tokyo against the Yomiuri Giants. Nice to see that he's been able to bounce back. He has quite the live arm. Well, the pitching coach is on the mound here having a word with Priester as they're going to try to get themselves out of this jam here. As he's out there with Eric Haas and the home plate umpire, and now the conference is broken up. Now we are ready to resume the action. So Christian Walker is 1 for 2 today. He doubled his last time up, and he grounded out to second. So 1 for 2 on the afternoon. The double that he had was looped over the head of the third baseman, his first time up. Actually, sorry, it was hit to the left fielder, and the left fielder, I was kind of wondering if they were going to only give him a single and an error on the left fielder because it was Isaac Collins who had dropped the ball on the exchange as there's a breaking ball missing down and away, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes to Walker. Friend Gracie Lynn in the house. How you doing today, Gracie Lynn? Welcome to the channel. As the pitch is on the way, it's a breaking ball waved at and missed. Count goes to 1-1. We're doing pretty good today. We have the first of 2 games as we'll do the Braves and the Reds a little bit later. Looking forward to seeing Hunter Green go. First real look at the Brewers this year. It's a really different lineup than what I would have expected from spring training, as there's a breaking ball missing down and away. Count is 2-1 to Walker. Priester again leaning in, getting his sign. Here comes the pitch. And the 2-1 on the way. Another fastball missing down and away, and the count's 3-1. When Priester misses, he's missing a lot down and away to the right-handed batters, and it's pretty consistent. He's in jeopardy of walking his third batter of the inning here after having a pretty good first 4. Here comes the 3-1 pitch to Walker. Another fastball delivered, another one missing down and away, and that's going to be ball 4, and that's going to load the bases. So Pena is going to advance over to third. Paredes is over to second. And Christian Walker aboard here. That loads the bases. It's going to bring Yennier Diaz to the plate. Diaz, the 8th batter to come to bat here. All eyes on Pat Murphy, but looks like Murphy's going to let the right-hander battle it out here with Diaz. And the first pitch on the way is a fastball that swung on it. Is popped up foul, but it's going to reach the seats. First base side of home plate. The count is quickly 0-1 to Diaz. Gracie Lynn says she's been struggling with her pick of the Braves game. It's Hunter Green. As the pitch is on the way, there's a breaking ball swung on, grounded up the middle, fielded by Durbin on the backhand side. He throws to first, and that is going to do it. A ground out 4-3 to end the inning, as the Brewers were able to escape without any further damage. There was 2 runs in the inning on the benefit of no hits. So 2 runs, no hits. There was an error, and there were 3 runners left aboard. Your scores moved to the bottom of the 5th inning. It is the Astros 3 and the Brewers no score. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a few with all the action. Appreciate you guys for hanging with us on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. We'll be right back after this.
Thank you for that introduction, Freddie. Hey guys, Steve coming back at you today, and every day is opening day on my channel. I open everything from hot sauce to beer to deviled eggs to cans of soup to ravioli to sport card packs that you wouldn't believe. I open blasters of stuff. I open regular boxes of stuff. Speaking of hot sauce, I open hot sauce, which is often gifted to me from the community. I have it all. I open up Star Wars by the tons, including the Family Guy Star Wars. I have a bunch of wrestling that I do open, and I do non-sport cards like crazy. As you can see, we have it all. I even open Marvel, tons and tons of Marvel cards. But you never know, on my channel, you just may have a little trouble with tribbles, too. Remember, opening day, every day. Thank you, Freddie. See you in funny pages, guys.
That's right, everybody. We're moving to the bottom of the 5th inning. It is going to be going to bat for the Brewers, Chad Durbin, Vinny Carpa, and Eric Haas. That'd be the 6, 7, and 8 hitters to face the lefty Framber Valdez. As we mentioned, looks like a lot of school children at the game today in Milwaukee. Getting a chance to cheer on the Brewers. Also a lot of empty seats at the ballpark today, too, at American Family Field. You see that sometimes on the getaway games. They have sometimes a dicey crowd attendance. In certain areas, in certain marketplaces, they do bring in the school children to fill out the seats, which is not a bad way to field trip to the ball game. Sometimes they do tours. I know in Seattle, they'll do tours of the front office. Sometimes they'll take them down behind the scenes and let them see how the game day operations work. So Valdez has completed his tune-up tosses, and we're ready to resume the action here. Friend Gracie Lynn says Sonny Gray is dealing against the Pirates. The Pirates hitting is painful. Absolutely it is. First pitch fastball misses down and away, and the count is 1-0 to Durbin. Durbin 1 for 1 today. He's raised his season average to 232. He had a single in the 2nd inning. He was raced in a double play as the pitch is a breaking ball that misses down, and the count goes to 2-0. Yeah, the word I would use in some capacities is overmatched. Same can be said today with this lineup that the Brewers have rolled out against Framber Valdez. Valdez not having a great season at this point, but looking like the pitcher of 2024, as there's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 2-1. This right here, Valdez possibly could even sniff the 7th inning. Pitch on the way. Fastball swung on and chop foul over on the third base side. And the count is 2-2 to Durbin. Durbin waggling the bat here, waiting on the offering here from the lefty. As Valdez gets his sign from his catcher Diaz, and he rocks into the windup. He kicks and he fires. There's a breaking ball swung on and missed, and that is going to retire Durbin. He goes down on strikes for the first out of inning number 5. And if you're keeping score along with us, that looks like it's the 5th strikeout recorded by the left-hander Valdez here in this one. That is going to bring up the third baseman in Vinny Carpa. So I'm not sure what that was. It looked like something had broken off. Maybe the hairpiece had broken off for Valdez as the bat boy had to come out and retrieve it. So the lefty ready to roll. He kicks and he fires. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away down the right field line, and the count is quickly 0-1 to Carpa. Gracie Lynn says, by her calculations, if the Pirates averaged 0.8 runs a game, their record would be flipped over significantly. Breaking ball misses down, and the count is 1-1. Yeah, they really need another bat or possibly 2 in that lineup. It's actually a little bit disappointing looking at that Pirate lineup. They've had a lot of high picks, and some of the players haven't really come to fruition yet. There's a fastball taken for a called strike. Unfortunate loss early in the year. Nick Gonzalez, who was getting the nod at second base, had broken his ankle rounding the bases on a home run. And so he's been out of action since the first week or so of the season. There's a fastball swung on and tap foul around the third base side. The count is 1-2. Makes you wonder if there was already a fracture in place, that rounding the bases maybe just finished off an existing fracture. Could barely make it around the bases, and you wonder why. Well, he broke his ankle. Brandon Jensen says that he never got a notification for the live stream. Yeah, it's funny. It didn't give me a notification either. I don't understand why. There's a breaking ball that is swung on and missed, and that's going to retire Carpa for the second out of the inning. Does that sometimes. Sometimes we get the notification to ourselves, and then sometimes we get nothing. So I don't even know how to explain it. We are on the airwaves. Maybe YouTube's tired of pushing us out to people. I don't know. Gracie Lynn says it's a shame because the Pirates are wasting a top 6 or 7 pitching staff in all of baseball. Fastball misses down, and the count's 1-0 to Eric Haas. Haas 0 for 1 today. He struck out in his only trip to the plate. I'm not so sure if the Pirates have a top, when they're healthy, they could be. But they've got a lot of guys that can't stay out of the trainer's room. There's a fastball that misses up and away, and the count is 2-0. I'm not sure what the status of Jared Jones is this year. I think he might be gone for the year. I have to go back and have a look. I thought he might have had some surgery. Breaking ball taken for a called strike, counts 2-1. I don't follow the Pirates tightly. I'll look on other teams more frequently than others. Certainly, I get my Reds updates from some of my buddies who do follow the Cincinnati Ball Club religiously. Breaking ball that is swung on and missed. The count is 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Brandon Jensen holding it down in the chat here as well. As the 2-2 pitch is on its way, kicks and delivers, fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into deep left center field. This ball could be trouble. Looking up, and this ball is going to be gone. A home run for Eric Haas. A solo shot, and that ball had some legs. It was more. It was left center field, but it was more center field than anything else. That ball was absolutely scorched. And that is going to cut the lead to 3-1. As Haas rounds the bases with the Brewers' first run of the afternoon. It's going to bring up the shortstop and Joey Ortiz. Gracie Lynn said Jones started his throwing program earlier this week. So Ortiz ready to go. Here comes the first pitch. It's a breaking ball that misses up and away, and the count's 1-0. I was checking in on Masataka Yoshida of the Boston Red Sox, as he had a cortisone shot delivered this week. He was on a throwing program to try to get him back up to speed. Breaking ball taken for a called strike, counts 1-1. Let's talk about him being transferred to the 60-day injured list. Red Sox were going to have to make a decision. If he was to be activated, they were going to have to do something with their roster. There's a ground ball hit to second, fielded neatly by Rogers. He throws to first, and Ortiz is gone on a ground out 4-3. But the Brewers get one back here in the fifth inning, as they had one run in the inning on one hit. It was the home run by Eric Haas. There was no errors and nobody left aboard. Their scores, we move to the top of the sixth inning. It is a 3-1 Astros lead. We'll be back in just a few. Back in just a couple moments. We appreciate you guys listening in here on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be right back after this.
Well, you've got to have an ace in the hole, a little secret that nobody knows. Life is a gamble, a game we all play, but you've got to save something for a rainy day. You've got to learn to play your cards right if you expect to win in life. Don't put it all on the line for just one roll. You've got to have an ace in the hole. Yeah.
Welcome back, everybody. We are moving ourselves to the top of the sixth inning. It's going to be Jake Myers, Doug DeCenzo, and Brendan Rogers to come to bat here to face. Well, we'll have to wait and see if it is going to be Quinn Priester. No, it's going to be Elvin Rodriguez coming on in relief, as he is going to take over here for Priester. As we mentioned, Rodriguez began his big league career with the Detroit Tigers. He had spent some time with the Tampa Bay Rays organization. Then he made his way over to Japan, where he pitched for the Yakult Swallows. The 6'4", 214-pound right-hander, who is now 27 years old. He's 0-2 on the year. He's got an ERA of 7.04. He's worked in 5 games. He's started twice. He's worked 15 1/3 innings. And the first pitch is a breaking ball that misses down and away to Jake Myers. Count is 1-0. You kind of hate to give up on somebody who can run the ball up to the upper 90s. The problem is that he has just no command and control of where that ball is going. Fastball at 95 misses upstairs. Count goes to 2-0 on Myers. Curious to see if they try to give him a couple innings of work here if he could survive. There's a fastball at 95 that is blown right by Myers, and the count is now 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike. Rodriguez gets himself into the stretch position. He pitches from the stretch despite nobody being on base, and then he sort of rocks back into the little windup. There's a fastball at 95 missing upstairs. It's not your traditional windup, I guess I would say. He starts off, as I say, in set position, then he does a little step back, get some momentum to deliver. There's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count goes to 2-1 on Myers. So 2 balls and 1 strike it is. 3-1, Astros have the lead, top of the 6th inning. Rodriguez kicks and fires. There's another fastball that misses way upstairs, and that's going to be ball 4. Myers is going to reach for the second time today. He had a single in that second inning and scored the first one for the Stros. Now he's aboard with a walk. The walks are starting now to rear their ugly head. Priester was pretty good through the first 4 innings. He allowed a couple of walks. Actually, he allowed 3 walks in the 5th. He had lost his control. Steve Rademacher checking in here as the right-hander Elvin Rodriguez fires over to first base and getting back in time easily is the runner Myers. Got to keep your eye on Myers. He can run. He's got 7 stolen bases on the year. Astros as a team have a couple players who can get around the bases, but for the most part, they are not exactly the most fleet of foot. There's a breaking ball missing upstairs. Count is 1-0 to DeCenzo. So 1 ball and no strikes. Rodriguez ready to go again. Gets his sign. Now he kicks and fires. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count goes to 2-0. Just have a feeling here we're going to be, the way this game is shaping up, the needle is pointing in the direction of the Astros, at least in my opinion right now, as we are here on the top of the 6th. Pitch on the way. Fastball misses inside. That was at 96. Backs DeCenzo off the plate. It's now 3-0. So Rodriguez in jeopardy of walking the bases loaded here. Also a bit of a challenge for Rodriguez in his career. He's only walked 3 in the 15 and a third innings that he's faced coming into this one. Fastball taken for a called strike. Counts 3-1. But it has been a point of contention in his career. When he was with Detroit, he'd walked 15 batters in 29 and 2/3 innings back in the 2022 season. As he throws over to first and getting back in time is Myers. Again, Rodriguez getting his sign from his catcher, and he works himself to the set position. Here comes the 3-1 offering. Fastball swung through and missed, and the count now goes full to DeCenzo. Yeah, Gracie Lynn asked the question. I don't know if I've ever heard it as Southwestern. Pacific Northwest of the United States, right next to us. There's a fastball that misses upstairs, and that's going to be ball 4, as DeCenzo is going to get himself a base on balls. So back-to-back walks to start the 6th inning here by Myers and DeCenzo. That's going to bring Brendan Rodgers to the plate. As Rodgers has reached base on an error his first, last time up. He's also struck out. Gracie Lynn wanted to know if that's the same Rodriguez that the Brewers have in Nashville AAA. There's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is quickly 0-1. I have to admit, I don't know if this version of the Rodriguez has been on the shuttle up and down this year. Looks like he has pitched in Nashville. He's currently on the big league roster. So no balls, 1 strike to Rodgers. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count goes even at 1-1. So the runner Myers at second, runner DeCenzo at first. Nobody out here in the top of the 6th inning. Astros looking to get that run back that they gave away in the bottom half of the 5th. As Rodriguez holds set, now delivers. Fastball taken for a called strike. The count now goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes it is. There is action in the Brewer bullpen as Joel Payamps is up and throwing, or Yoel Payamps. As the pitch is on the way, it's a fastball swung on. It is lifted into straightaway center field. Moving back onto the warning track and making the catch is Jackson Churio. Tagging at second and heading over to third is going to be Myers. That's going to put runners at the corners. Rodgers sent it a long way. Churio had to actually leap at the wall to make the catch. It wasn't going to be deep enough, but just where he was positionally, had to make the leap to make that catch. So 1 gone here in the books. That's going to bring up the right fielder in Chaz McCormick. Well, keep your eye on McCormick here. He had a sacrifice bunt his last time up. This would be an interesting situation here for the Astros if they would consider dropping a bunt here with runners on the corners. Our friend Gracie Lynn was asking about the temperature here. Well, yesterday we had temperature in the low 70s as our daytime high, and it is not going to be, we're not going to get anything in that temperature for the next couple of weeks. Low 60s, upper 50s, a little on the cool side. So it brings McCormick to the plate. He's 0 for 1 today with that sacrifice. As I say, keep an eye here as maybe the Astros will have some shenanigans up their sleeves. Here comes the pitch. Breaking ball misses inside. No sign of a bunt there. So 1-0 to McCormick. Gracie Lynn said the Rodriguez down in Nashville has bounced up and down, and he hasn't been well there either. There's a breaking ball swung on. This is fouled away over on the first base side. The count runs even to 1-1. Yeah, it's hard to walk away from some guys that can throw 95, 6, 7 miles an hour, and certainly Elvin Rodriguez, well, as he will continue to get a sniff at some point. Some organization will want to bring him in, think they can fix him. Or they take a look at some of his mechanics and figure, hey, maybe we got to tweak a little bit here or there and we can get this guy over the hump. As they throw over to first base and diving back in time is McCormick. Remember Rick Peterson when he was the pitching coach for the Mets, and he was talking about looking for red flags and deliveries of the pitchers, and also too trying to speculate if you could help somebody out. There's a fastball at 99 that he blows right by McCormick. And again, that's the type of stuff that Rodriguez has. 99-mile-an-hour fastball with a little bit of cut, blowing it right by the hitter, but then you just can't unlock it on a consistent basis. There's a fastball that's swung on and missed, and McCormick's gone on strikes. He's out for the second out of the inning. So good job there by the right-hander Rodriguez, just playing good old-fashioned hardball with the Astros hitters. I mentioned it early in the stream, and I'm going to mention it again. I was telling a story that I was watching there's a Tampa Bay Ray pitcher or prospect. I was talking about the philosophy of the Tampa Bay organization and the minor leagues. As the pitch is on the way, it's a fastball swung on. This ball is hit into deep left field. This ball could be trouble. Looking up, and this ball is gone. A home run, a 3-run shot off the bat at Jeremy Pena. And that is going to double the score line for the Astros as they've now taken a 6-1 lead here at the top of the 6th inning. Pena with a 3-run shot. That's his 5th of the season. And the Astros are now in a really good position here in the top of inning number 6. And that is going to bring up the designated hitter in Jose Altuve. A fastball up in the zone and absolutely turned on it. And the first pitch breaking ball is taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. I'll get back to that Rays story in just a moment. As the pitch on the way is a slow breaking ball that misses up and in, and the count goes to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Altuve. There's a breaking ball taken for a called strike. The count is 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes it is. I was starting to tell the story about Paul Gavesi, the Rays prospect, and he was saying that the Rays set their catchers up middle until there's 2 strikes. There's a breaking ball that misses down. But the stat that we threw out there, as we know, our friend Gracie Lynn is the stat nerd, that 95% of the time, if you throw a first pitch middle, you get a positive result. There's a fastball swung on, grounded up the middle, fielded by Ortiz. He throws to first, and Altuve's gone on a ground out 6-3, and that is going to do it. Lots of damage done here in the inning. 2 walks set up the 3-run homer by Pena. There was 3 runs on 1 hit, no errors, and there was nobody left aboard. Your scores, we move to the bottom of the 6th, 6-1 for the Astros. Just to finish my little anecdote there, first pitch, middle, you get a positive result. It's either a called strike, a swinging strike, a foul ball, a ball in play for an out. And so really only a 5% chance on middle fastballs that a team will get a hit. Anyways, that's just some food for thought. We're moving to the bottom of the 6th inning. It is a 6-1 scoreline. We'll be right back in just a few minutes or a few moments after this. Appreciate you for hanging in here with us today on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel.
Oh, hello. Oh, hey. Yep. I'm just sitting here listening to Freddie call another game here on YouTube. Oh, yeah, going really good. He's calling a great game. Really exciting. Lots of stuff going on. You're lucky it's commercial break right now. I got a second. Oh, yeah, of course I'm having a cold one. Oh, yeah, got plenty of videos coming up this week. You should stop in, check them out, leave a like, tell other people. But, Freddie's coming back. I got to go catch the game. I will check in with you later. You have a good night, buddy. Bye.
Welcome back, everybody. We're skipping to the bottom half of inning number 6. It'll be the top of the order to come to bat for the Brewers. It'll be Jackson Chourio, Isaac Collins, and Christian Yelich. You face the left-hander Framber Valdez. Valdez, through his first 5 innings, has only allowed 3 hits, 1 run, walked 1, and struck out 6. This is the Framber Valdez of 2024 that we are witnessing today. He has thrown 76 pitches through his first 5 innings of work as we are ready to resume the action here. There's a little stoppage in play here. Looks like there may have been something that had fallen out of the stands, but we're ready to go again here as the first pitch is a fastball taken for a called strike. The count's 0-1 to Chourio. Chourio 0 for 1 today. He had struck out his first time up and walked and was stranded in the 3rd. As the left-hander kicks and delivers, there's a breaking ball taken for a called strike. The count now goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. So no balls and 2 strikes to Chourio as he waits here on the offering from the lefty Valdez, who rocks into the windup and delivers. Breaking ball swung on and missed, and Chourio's in the books. He's gone for the 2nd time today via strikes. So 1 up and 1 away, and that brings up Isaac Collins to the plate. We're talking earlier about being overmatched. One thing today about Valdez, he's really been able to keep the Brewers hitters off balance. He's only held them to the 3 hits. They had that opportunity in the 2nd inning when Cameron and Durbin went back-to-back with singles. Looked like they had some threat going, but not able to produce anything out of that. There was a first pitch fastball delivered to Collins, taken for a ball upstairs, counts 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. The lefty Valdez rocks and delivers. There's a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1 to Collins. Collins grounded to short and struck out in his 2 trips to the plate. As the lefty kicks and delivers, there's a fastball swung on it. It's going to be pop foul down the right field line. Count now 1-2 on the left fielder of the Brewers. They have charged the Brewers with a 2nd error, but not sure exactly where that other error had taken place. If they go and look to see how that is, there might have been a scoring change as there's a breaking ball that misses down. The count is 2-2 to Collins. We know that Durbin had made an error, but we're not sure where the other one was. It looks like Collins and Durbin were charged with fielding errors. So that Collins may have changed the hit from Walker from a single to a double. There's a breaking ball that misses outside. Count now runs to 3-2 on Collins. We'll have to look at that scoring decision. Christian Walker originally had hit the double, but it looks like they've taken away from him. Walker will be credited with a single. It'll be E7 that advanced Walker over to second base. That was back in the fourth inning. As there's a breaking ball that misses up and away, it's going to be ball 4. And Collins is aboard with a 1-out walk. That's going to bring Christian Yelich to the plate. I have to say, some of the scoring decisions that we've witnessed, at least in Major League Baseball over the last little bit, I know that they want to encourage offense. Sometimes you'll see some errors that'll be called and you're just left scratching your head. Or maybe why an error hasn't been ruled an error. That would have been one in the Walker case, but I'm glad to see that they corrected that. There's a breaking ball that misses down to Yelich, count as 1-0. If you weren't with us at that time, the ball was hit to Collins and left, and Walker had hit the single, but then on the exchange, Collins had dropped the ball. There's a fastball swung on it. It's lined to the glove of the third baseman, Paredes. He thought about going across the diamond, but Yelich is going to be gone. He hit that one right on the screws. So Yelich gone on the line drive to the third baseman for the second out of the inning. That's going to bring up the first baseman and Rhys Hoskins. Well, for Hoskins, he's 0 for 2 today. He has lined out to third and he's grounded to third. As the lefty kicks and delivers, there's a fastball that misses outside, and the count is 1-0 to Hoskins. Both of the balls that Hoskins had put in play had gone to Isaac Paredes. As the lefty Valdez kicks and delivers, there's a fastball that misses down. It's now 2-0. I would have to think that this could be the end of the rope here for Valdez here in the 6th inning, as he's about to throw his 90th pitch. Gracie Lynn says the Brewers have been shockingly defensively poor this year. Yeah, I think so. And I think part of it is the revolving door of the defense that they've had as well. There's a fastball swung on. It's grounded to short. Pena fields it. He fires to first, and Hoskins is retired at a ground out 6-3 for the third out of the inning. That's going to do it here for the Brew Crew in their half of the 6th. No runs, no hits, no errors. 1 runner left aboard. We're now moving to the top of the 7th. The last third of the game is about to be upon us. It is the Astros with a 6-1 lead over the Brewers. We'll be back in just a few. Appreciate you guys for jumping in with us on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. Be right back after this.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city. San Diego, baby. I'll take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's Another Hollis Build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
Welcome back, everybody. We'll give you some scoring updates from around Major League Baseball. There are other afternoon games going on as the Guardians in the top of the 9th inning have a 8-6 lead over the Nationals. In the middle of the 7th inning, Sonny Gray has been dealing as he's got a 2-hitter going against the Pittsburgh Pirates. Cardinals are ahead 3-0 in that one. And the other game in Chicago at Wrigley Field, the Giants have a early 1-0 lead. That's in the 2nd inning against the Cubs. That is where we stand here. All the other games get going a little bit later today. In about a half hour's time, it'll be the Mariners and the Athletics, as well as the Mets and the Diamondbacks. But a full slate of games to follow. The first pitch delivered here to Paredes is a fastball that misses outside, so ball 1 to Paredes. Rodriguez delivers another fastball that misses upstairs, and the count now goes to 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. So Elvin Rodriguez on for his second inning of work here to face the Astros hitters. Breaking ball that just misses up and in, and the count goes to 3-0. Very similar pattern to the way the last inning had shaped up, as he had walked the first 2 batters he faced, retired the next 2, and then gave up a 3-run shot to Jeremy Pena. So here comes the 3-0 offering as he rocks into the windup and delivers. Breaking ball misses upstairs. That's going to be ball 4. And Paredes is going to get his base. Paredes, I didn't think he believed that it was 4 balls in a row. He didn't want to leave the batter's box. But he is going to make his way down to first, and that'll bring up the first baseman in Christian Walker. Well, for Walker, he is 1 for 2 tonight. He's got a single and 2 trips, but he's also drawn a walk. So he has been on base twice. And the first pitch from Rodriguez is a fastball taken for a called strike. Count is 0-1. Six to 1. Astros enjoying the lead here in the top of the 7th. As Rodriguez delivers a breaking ball that misses inside, the count goes even to 1-1. Hard to have success when you're living at the 50% rule for balls and strikes. Rodriguez has already thrown 32 pitches. Only 15 of them have been for strikes. There's a breaking ball taken for a called strike. Count is 1-2. It's not easy when you fall behind in the counts. You aren't able to fill up the zone. Too many free passes to the batters. There's a fastball at 94 that sails way up top, and the count goes to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Be interesting here to see how the Brewers finish out the season. I don't see them repeating as the champions. Just too many holes to fill in this roster as a breaking ball misses inside. Now 3-2 to Walker. I think the Astros, if I was in Dana Brown's shoes, I've got to be thinking that he's probably looking to add a bat. Maybe even another arm. As the pitch is a fastball that's swung on and is fouled off right into the home plate umpire. Friend Gracie Lynn's tapping out. Well, thanks for popping in today, Gracie Lynn. It's always good to see you. So 3 balls and 2 strikes it is to Walker here. We'll be back on a little later today for the Braves and the Reds in about 4 hours and 15 minutes time. So here comes the 3-2 pitch. Breaking ball swung on. This ball is lifted foul well down the left field line. It's going to be hooked into the seats. Count remains full on Walker. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. And the pitch on the way is another one fouled away, and the count remains full here to Walker. Walker in his first year with the Astros after coming over from the D-back organization. He was another one of the moving pieces, a really brand new looking infield as they moved Altuve out into the outfield. The only mainstay or the holdover from last year is Jeremy Pena. There's a fastball swung on it, is lined into deep left field, moving back. And making the catch on the warning track is Collins. That's going to retire Walker for the first out of the inning. That'll bring up the catcher in Yanier Diaz. As we were saying about the new look infield outside of Pena, with Rogers getting a lot of time at second base, Walker at first, and Paredes over at third. Completely different looking Astros ball club. Fastball swung on, grounded to short. They go to second for 1, back to first. That's going to be an inning-ending double play. That's going to go in the books as a 6-4-3 variety. And erase Paredes at second for the second out, and Diaz on the back end. So 2 for the price of 1 for the Astros. That is going to do it here in the top of the 7th. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left the board. We're now moving to the bottom half of inning number 7. It is the Astros 6 and the Brewers 1. It'll be Cameron, Durbin, and Carper to come to bat when we return in just a few. Appreciate you guys for hanging with us on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel.
Let's go. Yo, I'm like an addict, do I gotta have it. I ain't even playing, got a really bad habit. If it moves, gotta grab it, fuse like a magnet. Lose, won't have it till I'm doomed in a casket. I ain't playing, got a weird mind. If you work 8 hours, I'ma work 9. If the shoot tastes sour, you should taste mine. I'ma stay in power for a long time. Get up, nah, I ain't a quitter. Toss me the ball, I'm a really big hitter. Big picture, I'm a straight killer. Rising the song to the highest bidder. Got juice, got gas, I'ma move fast. New shoes, new tracks, like who's that? I'm new, come back better than last. Yeah, it's a new me, never.
Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be Daz Cameron, Caleb Durbin, and Vinny Carper to come to plate here in the 7th inning. Do you face... Well, are we going to see Framber Valdez back out again? Are they going to let him come in for another one? It looks like they are. So Framber Valdez, who's at 90 pitches, is going to start the inning. As the first pitch is ready to come here to the right-handed hitting Daz Cameron. Cameron 1 for 2 today. He's got a single and 2 trips. As the lefty kicks and fires a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 1-0. 6 runs, 4 hits, no errors for Houston. 1 run, 3 hits, and 2 errors for the Brewers. The errors and the walks have been the difference in this one here, as the Astros have taken advantage of some shoddy Milwaukee play. As that breaking ball misses down, it goes now to 2-0 on Cameron. So 2 balls and no strikes. Lefty Valdez again rocks and delivers. There's a fastball swung on it, is chopped foul over at third. Paredes had fielded it. Cameron's going to have to go back, and we're going to do this pitch all over again. Cameron can really run well. He's much like his dad. He's got some wheels. As we take a look at the replay on that, yeah, it was a good call by the third base umpire, John Tumpane, as that ball was grounded just past or just wide of the bag at third base. So 2 balls and 1 strike to Cameron. As he digs himself back in, ready to face the lefty Valdez. As he rocks himself into the windup and delivers, there's a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count now goes to 3-1. As the pitch is on the way, there's a fastball swung on it. It's lifted into deep right field. Moving back on it with plenty of room and space just in front of the warning track is McCormick, and he's going to make the catch. And that is going to retire Cameron for the first out of the innings. So 1 gone here. It's going to bring up the second baseman in Caleb Durbin. So Framber Valdez giving the Astros a really needed start here today, especially going into the 7th inning. He's approaching the 100 pitch mark right now as he's at 95. Durbin today 1 for 2 at the plate, and the first pitch fastball just misses up and away, and the count is 1-0. Durbin singled and was erased in a double play in the 2nd and struck out in the 5th. Batting from the right side here against the left-handed throwing Valdez. As Valdez holds to the belt, and now he kicks and delivers. Fastball swung on, grounded over to the right side, fielded neatly by Rogers. Throws to first, and that's going to retire Durbin on a ground out 4-3. He's in the books for the second out of the inning, and that'll bring up the third baseman in Vinny Carpa. Well, for Carpa, he's 0 for 2 today. He's grounded into that double play, and he has struck out in his 2 trips to the plate. As the lefty Valdez delivers a first pitch fastball, take it for a called strike, and the count is quickly 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. Valdez working smoothly here as the pitch is on the way. It's a fastball that misses down, and the count now goes to 1-1. Carpa's average has slipped to 0.77 on the year. Kind of makes you wonder how long that they're going to stay with Vinny Carpa here before they start something different. I know that there's a few players that are on the active 40-man roster, especially Tyler Black, who hasn't been able to produce at the big league level yet. We're still waiting in the wings. As that breaking ball misses upstairs, count now goes to 2-1. Tyler Black has not played a game yet in the big leagues in 2025. He's also injured, missed time at the minor league level. There's a fastball that is swung on. It is dribbled down in the dirt. Off the mound is Valdez. He's going to wheel and fire to first. And that is going to get the runner Carpa. That's going to go down as a ground out 1-3. The Brewers might want to have a look at this one. And they do, as Pat Murphy has asked for the review. So we're going to get a look at it ourselves here. So they are going to put the play under review. Valdez has done a pretty good job today keeping the ball on the ground. He was induced 9 groundouts. We'll look at the replay again. I called him out at first, but I got to tell you, just on the naked eye, I think that he may be safe. We're going to look at the replay again on this one. Oh, maybe not. I'm not so sure here. We're going to get a look at a advanced replay on this. Hard to say. I think if strikes and outs make the game go quicker, they're going to go up with the right hand on this one. There's no such thing as the tie that goes to the runner. I don't know if there's enough overturning there to overturn that call. We'll see what the umpires have to say. If they want to keep this game moving along, they'll rule him as the third out. I'm going to go that they're going to hold the call up, and we'll see what the umpires have to say in just a moment. As we are waiting here, as Chris Conroy has his earpiece there. Our different angle, the angle from the first base side, looks like that the runner is probably safe. The runner that we got, or the one we had from left center field, it looked like that he was out. So I guess we'll have to wait and see how this is. This is one of the closer replays that we've seen in the last little bit. Right now, it'll be the third out of the inning, but it's taking far too long on this replay. It should be, they really, once they go up, the 60 seconds, let's review it, let's get on with it, and carry on with the ball game here. But we're still waiting here to get the shot clock out. And I say where the challenge is first asked to the home plate umpire or to the umpires. It looks like Chris Conroy is ready to make a decision here as they're looking at it in the war room in New York. Up they're looking at it here, and the out is going to stand. And that is going to do it. They've lost a challenge, so that is going to go in the books as a ground out 1-3. And the only answer I could have for Vinny Carpa, if you want the hit it to the outfield. Then they don't have to worry about anything to be decided that way. No runs in the inning, no hits, no errors, nobody left the board. Brewers go in order here. We're going to be moving to the top of the 8th inning. Astros coming to bat. It'll be Myers, DeCenzo, and Rogers when we return. Appreciate you guys for hanging in here with us on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. We'll be right back after this little timeout. Welcome back, everybody. We'll be back in just a few moments with all the action. It is a 6-1 Astros lead as we move to the top of the 8th inning. Welcome back, everybody. Elvin Rodriguez is staying on for his third inning, or to start his third inning work, and he delivers a first pitch breaking ball that misses down to Jake Myers. Myers, DeCenzo, and Rogers to face the right-hander here as he delivers a breaking ball that misses upstairs, and the count goes to 2-0. Myers has a single and a walk today. He has scored a pair of the runs for the Astros. He has also flown out to center field, so officially 1 for 2. There was a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count now goes to 2-1. There is action up in the Astros bullpen as Caleb Ort has gotten up to throw as there is a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count goes to 2-2 on Myers. Rodriguez gets himself the new baseball, and he's ready to go back at it here and continue the battle with Myers. As he waits on the offering, here comes the pitch. Fastball taken for a called third strike. Oh, Myers, he stood there like the house by the side of the road. You watch that go by for out number 1. So 1 to the books here for the Astros. That's going to bring up the left fielder and Doug DeCenzo. Well, for DeCenzo, he is officially 1 for 1 today. He's got a double and an RBI. He's walked twice and scored a pair of runs. As the breaking ball misses down and away, and the count is 1-0. The bottom 4 in the batting order have done the majority of the damage here for the Astros. They've scored 5 of the 6 runs. As Rodriguez kicks and delivers, there's a fastball swung through and missed, and the count now goes to 1-1. The bottom 4 in the batting order today have only got a couple of hits. They have walked 3 times. They've got a sacrifice to go with it. As there is a fastball that misses down, and the count goes to 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike. Again, Rodriguez delivers. This time it's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count goes to 2-2. There's action up in the Brewers bullpen as well. Rodriguez approaching the 50 pitch mark on this offering here. Ground ball hit foul over on the third base side. The count remains at 2-2 to DeCenzo. Our friend Herbert Williams in the house. He says, looking forward to the Yankees. Not sure when we're going to get a chance to call the Yanks. We did them in San Diego a couple of weeks ago. There's a ground ball hit to short, fielded neatly on the run by Ortiz. He fires to first, and that's going to retire DeCenzo on a ground out 6-3. He's in the books for out number 2. I should say Bert, because I think it is Bert, as opposed to Herbert. So 2 in the books brings Brendan Rodgers to the dish. He's 0 for 3 today. He has struck out, flown to center, but he did reach on an error. And he later came around and scored. As the pitch from Rodriguez is a breaking ball missing upstairs, and the count is 1-0. No, Bert says looking forward to about the Yankees, but looking forward about the Astros. There you go. As that breaking ball misses, and the count now goes to 2-0 to Rogers. Pitch on the way. It's a fastball missing up and away, and it's now 3-0 to Brendan Rodgers. Again, the right-hander working himself into the windup as he kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball that misses down and in, and the count is going to be ball 4. That is going to let Rogers walk here. He's got himself a 2-out walk. That's the 4th free pass issued by Rodriguez in his 2+ innings of work. That'll bring up the right fielder in Chas McCormick. So we were talking about the bottom 4 in the batting order. And so far they have 15 plate appearances in this game. And 6 times they have reached base. There's a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. So 42% of the time, the Astros' bottom 4 in the batting order have reached base. Fastball that is swung on it is going to be lifted foul over on the first base side. It's playable. Underneath it is Hoskins. He's there to make the catch. And that is going to retire McCormick for the 3rd out of the inning. Well, another inning completed here by Elvin Rodriguez. There's no runs in the inning, no hits, no errors. There was 1 runner left aboard. We are now moving to the bottom of the 8th inning. Your score is the Astros 6, the Brewers 1. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back right here in just a couple moments. We appreciate you guys for being here on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the 8, 9, and 1 hitters slated to come to bat for the Brewers in their half of the 8th inning. That means Eric Haas, Joey Ortiz on the top of the order, and Jackson Chourio. We are anticipating that there will be a pitching change for the Astros, as we believe that Framber Valdez's day will be over. And it is going to be Brian Abreu who is going to take over here. So Brian Abreu on in relief, as he is going to be in here to face the 8, 9, and 1 hitters. Abreu on the season, making his 17th appearance. He's worked 15 innings so far for the Astros. He's allowed 11 hits. He's 3 runs. 3 have all been earned. He's walked 9 and struck out 23, pitching to a 1.80 ERA. Astros are trying to do their part to avoid the sweep as they drop the first 2 games of this series to the Brewers. There's a fastball taken at the knees for a called strike. Eric Haas has accounted for the only Brewer 1 run today as he hit his 2nd homer of the year into deep left center field. As the pitch from Abreu on the way is a fastball swung on, is grounded to short, fielded by Pena on the backhand. Fires to first. It's going to be a ground out, 6-3 for out number 1. That is going to bring up the shortstop in Joey Ortiz. For Ortiz, he is officially 0 for 2 tonight. He has flown to center and grounded to second. As the right-hander ready to go again, as he kicks and fires, there's a fastball swung on. It is lifted into shallow right field. Coming in on it, or in right center field, coming in on it is the right fielder and the center fielder Myers. Backing up was the second baseman Rogers, but it is going to be the center fielder Myers who's going to actually haul that one in for the 2nd out of the inning. So 2 really quick outs here. It's going to bring up the top of the order in Jackson Chourio. So for Churio, he is officially 0 for 2 today. He has struck out twice. He has also walked. As the first pitch delivered is a fastball that misses down and away, and the count is 1-0 to Churio. Our friend Harrison in the house. He says, when's the next MPB stream? That'll be on the weekend. It'll be Friday night. We welcome him into the chat as well. As there's a fastball swung on and fouled away. The count is 1-1 to Churio. Next MLB stream will be a little later this afternoon, about 4 hours time. It'll be Braves and the Reds, so hopefully you can join us for that one. As the pitch is on the way, it's a breaking ball swung on. This ball is lined into left field, drifting back and making the catch just in front of the warning track is DeCenzo, and that is going to retire Churio for the third out of the inning. That will do it here for the Brew Crew in their half of the eighth. They go in order with no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. Brandon Abreu hardly broke a sweat here in that one. That was only a 6-pitch inning. We'll be back in just a few for the top of the ninth when we return after this. Appreciate you guys for hanging in here with us on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. It is 6-1 for the Astros as we move to top of inning number 9.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city. San Diego, baby. I take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's Another Hollis Build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the top of the order to come to bat here for the Astros in inning number 9. We are, I believe, going to have ourselves another pitching change. So just hang tight, everybody. We'll be back in 30 with all the action right after this. It is Astros and Brewers when we return. Actually, we're going to stay here right here with you, as it would appear that they are going to be ready to come back here. Just again, it looks like Elvin Rodriguez is going to stay out here for yet another inning of work. So we stand corrected on that. He'll be facing Pena, Altuve, and Paredes. And the first pitch is a breaking ball. Take it for a called strike. This will be the 4th inning. Pitch today here by Rodriguez. As the pitch is on the way, it's a breaking ball swung on. This ball is going to be lined into left field. It's going to get into the corner. Pena is going to dig for 2 as he rounds first, heading into second. Retrieving the ball is Collins as he fires it back in. So a leadoff double here off the bat of Pena. It's going to bring Jose Altuve to the plate. Well, for Altuve, he has had a rough day at the office today. He is 0 for 4. He is grounded out 3 times, and he has flown out or popped out to short. Action going on in the Houston bullpen. It is former Brewer Josh Hader up and throwing. Sure, after the losses of the last 2 nights, he's looking to get a little bit of work in. As the right-hander delivers, it's a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count is 1-1 to Pena. As the right-hander holds to the set, now delivers. There's a fastball that just misses outside. Counts now 2-0 to Altuve. Altuve batting from the right side here against the right-handed throwing Rodriguez. Pitch on the way. Breaking ball just misses a little bit low. That pitch actually looked pretty good. Rodriguez not getting a veteran call as Altuve would. So 3 balls and no strikes to the diminutive designated hitter of the Astros. Here's the 3-0 offering. There's a breaking ball that catches the inside corner, and the count is now 3-1 to Altuve. Runner at second, Pena. Nobody out here in the top of the ninth inning. Astros enjoying a 6-1 lead over the Milwaukee Brewers. Pitch on the way, fastball swung on and fouled away. Count now goes to 3-2 on Altuve. Current active leaders in hits. Altuve is second, only behind Freddie Freeman. As there is a breaking ball swung on and lifted down the left field line, but it's going to be hook-barreled foul. Just to the left of the foul pole, and the count remains at 3-2. Pretty amazing is that Freddie Freeman is approaching the 2,300 hit mark, but there is nobody else. It's even in that area. You guys start to wonder when the hit totals, when 3,000 is going to be an unreachable mark. There's a breaking ball swung on, his grounded softly over to the right side. They're going to have to hurry. Fielded by Durbin. He throws to first, and it's not going to be in time as Altuve is going to leg it out. I'll have to see here if the Brewers are going to go up and have a look at this one. We want to have a look at this one on our end. He had to really move to his left and attack it, but he never really attacked the ball as quickly as he should. He sort of sat back on it. No challenge there as Altuve's got to get himself an infield hit. It's going to advance Pena over to third. You got runners on the corners with nobody out. It's going to bring Isaac Paredes to the plate. So some questionable defense there by the Brewers second baseman. Now, in some fairness, he was shaded more up the middle on Altuve, but by his approach to the ball, it just looked like he was taking his time to get there and not understanding the speed of Altuve. There's a breaking ball ticket for a called strike. Counts 0-1. Paredes today officially 0 for 2. He has struck out twice and walked twice. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count goes even at 1-1. Looks like a left-hander, Tyler Alexander, is up and throwing in the pen. We've seen Alexander start a few games this year for the Brewers. He's also worked time out of the pen as well, so maybe he's getting his side done in live action. There's a breaking ball that misses in. Counts 2-1 to Paredes. We're speculating we may see Josh Hader for the ninth, even though it's not a save situation. He needs to be able to get himself some action or at least some work in here. Breaking ball swung on and fouled away straight back. The count is 2-2 to Paredes. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Again, establishing his lead over at first is Altuve. And the pitch on the way is a fastball swung on and lifted foul down the first base line. The count is going to remain at 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Altuve once again establishing his lead. The right-hander works to the set. Here comes the pitch. 2-2 on the way. Fastball swung on and is grounded through the 4-hole into right field. That's going to get a run in. Altuve is going to slam on the brakes at second. So Altuve is safe. It's an RBI single off the bat of Paredes. Pena is going to come in to score the 7th run of the game for the Astros. They've still got something brewing here as they've got runners at first and second. And nobody out. It's going to bring Christian Walker to the plate. We're talking about the left-hander Alexander a bit, who is warming up in the bullpen for the Brewers. Alexander has appeared in 10 games for the Brewers. He started 4. He's been all over the map, the former Tiger and Tampa Bay Ray. As there's a fastball swung on his check swing, grounded down the first baseline. Hoskins is going to field it. He's going to step on the bag. Altuve is going to advance to third. Paredes is going to move over to second. It's going to be a ground out to 3 off the bat of Walker. He's gone for the first out of the inning, and that's going to bring up Yanyer Diaz. Bit of an excuse me swing off the bat of Walker. He couldn't hold up. So that brings Rodriguez to the plate, or to the face Diaz, who's coming to the plate, and that's going to be a first pitch. Fastball swung on. It's going to be lined over the head of the third baseman into left field. That's going to get a pair of runs in. Rounding first and heading to second is Diaz, and he's going to slide in safely. That's going to be a 2-run double, and that's going to increase the scoreline to 9-1 for the Astros. So Rodriguez is turning into a tomato can on the mound in front of our eyes right here as he is getting kicked around left and right. So 6 runs he is allowed in this one here. 3 in the 6th and 3 in the 9th. That's going to bring Pat Murphy out of the dugout. And that is going to be the end of the day for Rodriguez. Hang tight, everybody. Our friend Jimmy is in the house. We'll be right back after this. We got a 9-1 Astro lead. They got a runner at second with 1 gone. Pat Murphy has seen enough. Here's our friend Steve.
Hey, where are you going? It's a pitching change. Come on, sit back down. You don't go out there. Don't go get no food or anything. You've got a big decision. Are you gonna throw in there Raleigh Fingers? Maybe Goose Gossage? How about maybe Mariano Rivera or Lee Smith, Dennis Eckersley? Who knows? It's a pitching change. Come on back. You know who I would pick for this? A nice, tall, cool one. There's my pitcher. That's my pitching change. That's a winning combination. Come see my channel. You know, every day is opening day. And according to Bob, I must be in the front row. Blah.
Welcome back, everybody. We are moving ourselves into a pitching change here as they are calling on the bullpen. It is going to be the end of the day for Elvin Rodriguez. Looks like it's going to be Tyler Alexander who is making his way in from the bullpen. A little late on some of the updates. He was the one that was warming up, as it is the Astros who have extended their lead to 9-1. Tyler Alexander now entering the fray. Left-hander, as we mentioned before, he is making his 11th appearance of the year. He has 4 starts under his belt. He's worked 24 1/3 innings. He has allowed 23 hits. He has given up 18 runs. 14 have been earned, walking 11 and striking out 21. I think there's a place on this team for Alexander. I just don't know if it's in the starting rotation. I think he's been pressed into it. I think he'd be better off as a spot starter here and there if he had to give rest to teams. But I think really Alexander would probably be better served coming out of the bullpen at this point in his career. So he has a 1-3 record to his name. The lefty ready to go as he kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball missing inside. Count is 1-0 to Myers. Myers today is officially 1 for 3. He's got a single and 3 trips. He's also walked and scored a couple of runs. As the lefty holds to the set position and now delivers. There's a fastball swung on it. Is lifted into right center field. Drifting back onto the warning track is Chiriot. He's there to make the catch. And tagging at second and advancing over to third is Diaz. That's going to retire Myers for the second out of the inning. That'll bring up the left fielder in Doug DeCenzo. Well, for DeCenzo, he's had a busy day on the base paths today. He's walked a couple times, scored a couple of runs. He's doubled and driven home a run. He's also grounded to short, so he bats here with the runner at third and 2 gone as the lefty kicks and delivers. There's a fastball swung on. It is lifted down the right field line, giving chase is Hoskins. Is he going to have room? He's going to make the catch as he falls into the netting, and DeCenzo is going to be retired. That's going to do it here for the Astros in their half of the 9th, but they get 3 runs in the inning on the benefit of 4 hits. There was no errors and 1 runner left aboard. Your score as we move to the bottom of the 9th inning. It is the Astros 9 and the Brew Crew 1. We'll be back in just a few with all the action right after this. We appreciate you guys for hanging with us on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel.
Hello, this is Eric Fox, formerly of the Oakland A's and Texas Rangers baseball teams. If you want to learn about Japanese baseball, see Coach Fred of Last Raps Baseball. If you want baseball instruction, see Coach Fred. If you want to learn about golf, do not go to Coach Fred. Fred, what kind of club is this?
At Last Raps Baseball, we know baseball. That's right, everybody. We know baseball, and it is going to be coming to bat for the Brewers here in their half of the night. It'll be Isaac Collins, Christian Yelich, and Rhys Hoskins, the 2, 3, and 4 hitters. 9 runs, 8 hits, no errors for the Astros. 1 run, 3 hits, 2 errors for the Brewers. As we mentioned, the 2 things that were a big part of this one here, it's been the walks and the errors for the Brewers that have killed them. So Josh Hader is taking over here, the former Brewer, pitching against his former ball club. Not a safe situation, but he in to get some work here today, as he'll be facing the 2, 3, and 4 hitters. Hader with a little different look, doesn't quite have the long hair that he once used to, as it's been rather trimmed. He's in a Houston Astro uniform. He was dealt from the Brewers to the Padres. Got himself a lucrative deal. It's kind of back to where he started, because he was an Astro prospect back in the day. Was Hader. As a breaking ball misses upstairs, the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes to Collins. Breaking ball misses upstairs, count goes to 2-0. So be interesting to see how Hader pitches. Sometimes closers, when they come in, they have a hard time when it's not a closing situation, as there's a fastball swung on and missed, and the count goes to 2-1. A hard time concentrating in these situations. And they sometimes take it for granted. Here comes the pitch. It's a fastball that misses up and away, and the count now is 3-1 to Collins. So 2 things are about to happen. We're either going to see, as there's a fastball that misses down and in to Collins, you're either going to listen to the greatest comeback in Milwaukee Brewer history, or the Astros are going to close this one out here, as we have a runner at first and nobody out here in the 9th. And Christian Yelich coming to bat. He is 0 for 3 on the afternoon today. He has grounded out twice and lined to the third baseman. Our friend Brandon Jensen in the chat is calling a Yelich shot here. So he's calling a Yelich shot. Make note of that. And the first pitch on the way is a fastball that is swung through and missed at 96. Count is quickly 0-1. Yelich, in terms of average, is not having a great start to the year, but he's got the power numbers and the runs batted in, as he takes a fastball on the outside corner, and the count now goes to 0-2. Yelich has been besieged by injuries over the latter part of his career. He is a fun player to watch when he's healthy. Here comes the pitch. Fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count remains at 0-2. If I remember correctly, it's a Yelich's descent. He was a Serbian father and a Japanese mother. As the pitch is on the way, there's a breaking ball missing upstairs, and the count is 1-2. And they have produced a heck of a ball player in Christian Yelich. Redbeard says, you still on for tonight's game? Yeah, we are. We're going to be on at approximately 4:15 Pacific. There is a fastball that is swung on and missed, and Yelich is in the books, and now the got one away here, and that'll bring up the first baseman in Rhys Hoskins. So the Brewers are running out of outs here to try to do some damage. I'm going to go for a little walk this afternoon, get some fresh air, get a little exercise in. We'll be back on for the Reds and the Braves a little later this afternoon. As the pitch on the way is a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into left field. This ball is going to get down, but is it going to be fair? Yeah, it's going to stay fair, and that's going to cruise all the way over to third as Collins. Hoskins is going to come into second with a double. We had to wait on that one as the ball looked like it may not have landed fair. I have to get a look at the replay on that. It was barreled around. As we get the replay, it did land in the corner about a foot or so in fair territory. So runners are at second and third. That's going to bring Daz Cameron to the plate, and they've got their little notes out on the mound as the little scouting report of how they want to pitch to Daz Cameron. And Cameron today is 1 for 3. Single, he struck out, and he has flown to right field. As the left-hander works and delivers, there's a breaking ball taken for a called strike. It counts 0-1 to Cameron. That knock earlier, Daz Cameron raised his average up to 182 on the year. As he waits here on the offering from Hader, and there's a fastball that blows it right by him at 96. Count is 0-2. Our friend Brandon Henson leading the heckles from the stands. I'm sure he's choreographed the cheerleaders to do it as well. There's a fastball that swung on and missed, and overmatched would be the word I would use to describe Daz Cameron there as he's down on strikes. Josh Hader just reared back and threw him nothing but heat right across the plate, and Daz Cameron couldn't catch up to anything. So he's in the books for the second out of the inning, and that's going to leave it all up to Caleb Durbin. Durbin 1 for 3 today. He's got a single in his 3 trips. Pitch on the way. Fastball misses inside, and the count is quickly 1-0. So the Brewers are now down to their final out. Or did that come inside and hit him? We're going to take a look at that on the replay. Thought he checked his swing. It looked like it hit the catcher's glove, and it fell to the... We're going to take a look here. Oh, I don't know. Well, it looks like he says it hit him, and he's going to be awarded the base. So Durbin is aboard here as he's been hit by a pitch. It loads the bases with 2 gone, and now that's going to bring up Vinny Carpa to the plate. Carpa has been a rally killer here today for the most part as he takes a breaking ball for a called strike. Came to bat with 1 out in the second inning and grounded into a double play. He's also struck out and grounded to the pitcher. Batting .075 on the season as the pitch on the way as a fastball comes in and almost hits Carpa as it spins him around. So that's going to even the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. The hold in on that one there. He got turned around all the way about. So Josh Hader plucking off some of his former teammates. As the 1-1 pitch is on the way, there's a slow breaking ball taken for a called strike. Count is 1-2. That's some good pitching there by Hader. You come in with a hard heater up and in, back the hitter off the plate, and then paint the corner with a breaking ball. Pretty impressive. So 1 ball and 2 strikes as the lefty waits and delivers. Breaking ball swung on. This ball is belted into deep left field. Racing back on the warning track and making the catch over the shoulder is DeCenzo. And that is going to do it as the Brewers are going to be gone here in the inning. Well, they threaten, but they don't score. No runs in the inning. There was a hit, no errors, and 3 runners left. Your final score is the Astros 9, the Brewers 1. Stay with us, everybody. We're going to give you a recap on this. We'll look at the out-of-town scoreboard, and we'll call it a day here in just a few. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be right back in just a moment. Welcome back, everybody. It was a salvageable game here by the Astros as Framber Valdez able to prevent the Brewers from sweeping the Astros here, as he went 7 strong innings today to seal the victory for the Astros in this one. By the numbers today, it started off in the second inning. The Astros got on the board with a 2-out single by Jake Myers, and he was driven home by a double by Doug DeCenzo to give them an early 1-0 lead. In the fifth inning, the Astros added to their lead. They walked to DeCenzo. Brendan Rodgers reached on an error by the second baseman Durbin after a sacrifice bunt by Chas McCormick. Then up stepped Jeremy Pena, and he singled home the next run of the ball game for the Astros to give them a 2-1 lead. After Altuve flew out, Paredes walked and Christian Walker walked, as that ended up bringing home another run. And that made the score line at that point 3-0. In the bottom of the fifth inning, the Brewers got one back, and their only run today was a solo shot by Eric Haas, made the score line 3-1. They changed pitchers. In came Elvin Rodriguez, and he walked the first two batters he faced in the sixth. Then he got Rodgers to fly out and McCormick to strike out. And Jeremy Pena delivered a 3-run shot to give the Astros a 6-1 lead over the Brewers. They again added a couple of more runs in the ninth inning, as that is, there are 3 more runs in the ninth inning. A leadoff double by Pena, a single by Altuve. Paredes knocked home Pena with a single, and then up stepped Yennier Diaz with 1 out, and he doubled home Altuve and Paredes to make the final score 9-1. So it was 9 runs, 8 hits, no errors for the Astros, 1-4-2 for Milwaukee. Our friend Redbeard says Marte is going to be out with an oblique injury. That is a Cincinnati Red injury update. We'll get to that a little bit later when we get to the game. Out-of-town scoreboard, if we take a look around the games, one other final, and that is actually 2 other finals. The Guardians beat the Nationals 8-6. Cantillo got the win for the Guardians. Soroka takes the loss for the Nats. Clase gets his 8th save of the year, and that one for the Guardians. Sonny Gray had an outstanding pitching performance as he goes to 4-1 on the year. He knocks off Mitch Keller of the Pirates. 5-11-1 for the Cards. 0-4-0 for the Pirates. Gray with the win, Keller the loss in that one. Other scores from around Major League Baseball. The Giants have a 3-1 lead over the Cubs. That's in the middle of the 5th inning. Mariners and Athletics in the bottom of the first locked at zeros. Bottom of the first, Mets and D-backs are also at 0. Well, those are your scores. That's the roundup, and we appreciate everybody who jumped in today on the stream to listen. It is going to be the Braves and the Reds in about 3.5 hours' time. Hopefully you guys can make it in there for it. We'll be back in a little bit later on then. Have a great day, everybody, and we will catch you in about 3+ hours' time.